On a previous episode of 5 Games, we took a look at 5 great games for the often overlooked Atari Jaguar. On today's episode, we are going to take a look at the next layer of the Jaguar's library and check out 5 good games for the system. Iron Soldier was an early hit for the Atari Jaguar, receiving positive reviews from the press and selling well enough to make this a common game to track down. You pilot a stolen mech to help the Resistance bring down an evil corporation who has taken over the world. While the plot is generic, the rest of the game is surprisingly solid. I really love the graphical style, and the simple geometry of buildings, tanks, and helicopters lend themselves well to the limited 3D capabilities of the system. Iron Soldier excels at making you feel like you are piloting a giant machine through cities and towns. It's immensely satisfying to crush houses and tanks simply by walking over them. Watching a building crumble into little polygons is charming and gives Iron Soldier its own feel. Despite the Jaguar's joypad having just 3 action buttons, it's fairly easy to control your speed, look around, and change weapons all at the same time without any fuss. It's really amazing they were able to offer so much control in such a natural way, and it's easy to jump right in and start wrecking things. The game's 16 missions are varied, giving you different objectives to complete to help the Resistance in their cause. This certainly isn't the best mech game ever created, but most should have no trouble jumping in and having a good time. Not only was Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure released on the Genesis and Super Nintendo, Activision also released the game on quirky systems like the Sega CD, Sega 32X, and the Atari Jaguar. The game is a sequel of sorts to the original Pitfall, only this time we control Pitfall Harry Jr. on his quest through various scenic areas of Central America. The standout feature is the levels. The designers created a second plane, allowing Pitfall Harry Jr. to explore behind what is visible on the screen. Sometimes this is part of the normal level progression, and other times it is a hidden area. In both cases, it's a cool little touch that gives Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure its own identity. Everything else in the game is fairly standard. The graphics have a great 16-bit style to them, but the frame rate isn't all that smooth. The music is decent but forgettable, and the gameplay offers nothing new. Some folks really enjoy Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure, but I feel it falls short of the excellent side-scrollers developed by Virgin Games. Still, there is no doubt Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure offers plenty of fun, and this Jaguar version is pretty good. Power Drive Rally is a top-down racer released in 1995. This one is fairly unique as it is both a third-party game and an exclusive for the Atari Jaguar. As a driving game, this one delivers a solid experience. The heart of the game is a championship mode that takes you through 34 unique events spanning an entire rally season. The graphics have a nice 16-bit charm which holds up well, featuring detailed sprites, nice weather effects, and even transparent headlight effects. The variety here is also awesome, ranging from thick vegetation to deserts and of course plenty of snow. The controls are responsive, if not a touch twitchy, and the grip level changes depending on the racing surface, allowing for some occasional drifting. About the only fault here is with the camera. The game places your car in the middle of the screen rather than the edge, making it tough to anticipate what's coming up. Still, Power Drive Rally is a solid racing game with plenty of challenge, and overall, this is a good addition to the Atari Jaguar library. Val d'Isère Skiing and Snowboarding is a winter sports game taking place on a French ski resort of the same name. Val d'Isère Skiing and Snowboarding is rather unique, and I don't think I've ever played anything quite like it. The game uses line scrolling and sprite scaling effects to simulate racing down a ski mountain. The results are somewhat mixed. The game blisters along at a frantic pace while maintaining a perfect 60 frames per second. However, it can be tough to see what's coming, and you'll have your fair share of mishaps with trees and other obstacles. Memorization is required to make it to the finish and unlock more sections of the resort. Your patience for repeating the same section of the mountain a few times, memorizing obstacles, will dictate how much you enjoy this game. Val d'Isere skiing and snowboarding could have been one of the standouts on the Atari Jaguar, if they could have figured out a way to give the feeling of racing down a mountain rather than a racing game with snowboards. Val d'Isere skiing and snowboarding is occasionally frustrating, but the beautiful visuals and unique gameplay have kept me entertained over the years. Alien vs. Predator was Atari's Hail Mary for the Jag. It's a licensed game using a popular IP. It is also a first-person shooter, which was the perfect way to showcase the power of the 64-bit Jaguar. Unfortunately, this wasn't enough to turn the tides for the Alien company. The game itself is creepy, large, and ambitious. The game takes place in a marine training base out in space. Both an alien ship and a Predator ship have docked onto the marine base, and it's up to our hero to set off a bomb to destroy them while fleeing in an escape pod. In addition to the marine, you can control an alien on its quest to save its queen. The controls here are pretty awesome, and you can claw, tail whip, and bite your enemies. Even better, you can cocoon the marines. Using a claw attack will stun a marine. Then, when you walk over them, you plant an egg. These cocoons act as additional lives, and when you die, the egg hatches and you pick up where you left off. Finally, you can play as the Predator. The Predator has different invisibility modes similar to the films. This lets you sneak around the different areas undetected, but you must uncloak yourself before attacking. This builds your honor meter, which gains you access to new weapons. Alien vs. Predator has some aging issues though. First, the hit detection is spotty, especially with the Predator's fist. Second, the frame rate is very choppy. Lastly, the level layouts are maze-like with a ton of pointless dead ends, and it can feel a bit tedious. Despite the game's issues, this one is still fun to play. Some even consider Alien vs. Predator one of the very best games available on the Atari Jaguar. So there you have it. While the Atari Jaguar doesn't have the greatest library of games, there were plenty of good and great titles released on the system, so be sure to leave a comment and let me know which Atari Jaguar games you enjoy.